Hey guys, it's the No-Nonsense Financial Coach here, coming back to you from the staircase on my children's bunk bed. That's right, we're upping the production quality. Just in advance, sorry for the lighting, it's a little sketch. Also, sorry for the uncleanliness. We seem to have poo just everywhere in our house. So I apologize for the poo and the poor lighting, but here we are. Welcome back. Continuation of talking about credit cards. I've talked a little bit about it, but wanted to talk about kind of fees and rewards that you can get. And again, guys, you know, this is just my perspective on it. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. If you decide in your life you don't want to use credit cards for whatever reason, I'm totally cool with that, as long as it's part of being intentional, as long as it's part of having a plan. And winning with your money, right? Being good stewards of what we earn, what we're given, and just winning overall. So going back to my previous videos, go back and watch those about credit cards. Kind of just keeping in mind that the reason why credit card companies offer perks and rewards is because there's a lot of people that don't use credit cards responsibly. I'd be fine with not having any credit card rewards if it meant that America was winning with credit cards. And that's the honest truth. I'd rather more people be winning than there be 2% cash back. So anyways, let's talk about it. The first thing is fees. If you sign up for a credit card or multiple credit cards, just understand what the fees are. I personally just avoid credit cards that have fees. I'm perfectly happy with our fee-less. That's a word. Pooh, is that a word? Big words bother me. That's a terrible Pooh impression. The two cards that we primarily use, the Costco card and the Fidelity card, they don't have any annual fees attached with them. We did have a Disneyland card, and I'm not a huge fan of it because they kind of snuck that by me. Nowhere, at least obvious when I signed up for it. Was there a notice saying there's a $99 a year fee? Not a huge fan of that, because basically what that does, it cuts into your rewards. So not a fan of that. There are some cards out there. I don't know a ton about them. Chase, I know, has a bunch of cards that people like. The Sapphire Rewards cards, and there's like a basic and a premier. They charge fees, but I think if you do lots of traveling and lots of eating out, those are really good cards to have. If you're going to use credit cards to get rewards, make sure that it's a reward that makes sense for you. If you travel for a living and you want the airline miles, get a card with the airline miles. If you're pretty basic like me and you just kind of want the cash back, get a cash back card. Like I said, try to avoid fees unless an annual fee, is kind of negated by the rewards that you get. So fees I talked about that. Sorry, guys. Kind of lost my train of thought there. Rewards. What kind of rewards do you get, and what do you do with them? I shared this before. We use two cards. The Costco card is really good for fuel. You get 4% back, up to $7,000 a year for fuel. It's really good for restaurants and travel. We don't do a ton of that. And then kind of recently, I've switched over to the Fidelity card because it's just straight 2% cash back, and there's no strings attached to it. There's no annual fee. I wanted to talk a little bit specifically about that card, and this goes back, again, guys, I'm always going to come back to, or most of the time going to come back to, being intentional with your money. Is we don't use it just to have, whatever, pocket change to go and buy knickknacks and tchotchkes and all that kind of stuff. All of our cashback rewards go into a retirement account, and this is kind of something that we just switched to. But it seems to be working really good. And I wanted to kind of segue this into retirement a little bit and just give you an example, okay? So 2% cashback card. Let's say you make, $75,000 a year. And you can put $50,000 of that onto a card. So all of your groceries, anytime you go out where you can use a card to swipe, you're putting it on your cashback card. Not retaining any balances. Again, go back to my videos, guys. This doesn't work if you're going to retain balances month to month, because all your rewards are basically going to be offset and done away with by the interest charges, and it doesn't take much in interest charges to really screw up your cashback rewards. So if If you don't have the self-control, if you're not to a point in your life where you can, consistently say, yes, I'm always going to pay it off as I go, probably don't need to worry about this too much right now. When you get to that point, though, make sure that you're not carrying balances so that you earn all the rewards. So going back to our scenario. So let's say you make $75,000 a year. Some of it's, whatever, mortgage payments, rent payments. Some things you just realistically can't put on a credit card. Or it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense because you got to do cash advances and then put that cash in your bank and then write a check and all that kind of stuff. So let's say you make $75,000, you put $50,000 of it on a cashback card, okay? 2% of $50,000 is $1,000. So let's say you get $1,000 in cashback rewards in a year. And I did this math earlier to make sure that I had it. If you took that $1,000 and you put it into a retirement account, $1,000 a year for 30 years into a retirement account solely invested into a total stock market index fund, which is an index fund that would have, say, 4,000 or 5,000 stocks held in it. That's a weighted and ratio corrected stock or mutual fund or index fund of the total stock market, U.S., international, bonds, large cap, small cap, mid cap, value companies, growth companies, all of that. It's a total representation of the world stock market, averaging 8.5% to 9%, which is about what the stock market averages. $1,000 a year into a retirement account over the course of 30 years turns into $849,000. You remember in my last video, I sort of made a comment about that if you take those reward points and put them into an investment account, you'll have more money than you know what to do with. $850,000 at retirement isn't bad by any means. That's just in your cashback rewards. So if you can get on this financial track of making good choices, investing on your own, aside from getting credit card rewards, and then you take that little bit of extra money you get from being intentional with your money, and you make good investment choices with it, there's no reason why you can't take that $1,000 a year and turn it into a really comfortable retirement. Now, I'm not advocating that you only fund your retirement accounts with credit card rewards, but let's say you were doing the $1,000 a year from your credit card rewards, and then you were also contributing $1,000 out of your own pocket. Now, the $1,000 invested over 30 years into a total stock market index fund earned you $850,000. Now, what if you doubled it? Those are pretty powerful numbers. So, just want to encourage you guys, if you're going to play the credit card game, as I like to call it, don't carry balances over. Find a card that gives you rewards that make sense for you, and then do something really, really smart with those rewards. It'll pay off in the end. So I want to encourage you guys. And again, I'm not recommending you go out and get a credit card. I don't want anybody getting into a financial mess and saying, "Well, Andrew told me that this is what I needed to do, and I did it. And now it's just a giant clump of poo." That's no good. But if you feel like you're at a place where you can comfortably manage credit cards, yeah, I hope some of this advice helped. Thank you guys for tuning in. Sorry, this is really messy, and sometimes I go off on little rabbit trails or use a lot of words to say really simple things, and Pooh doesn't like that because big words bother him. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, at some point I'll have a script and fancy intros and outros and background music and sound effects and all that good stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what would work better. Tell me my Pooh jokes aren't funny and to stop doing them. And I'll probably keep doing them. Thanks, guys. Bye.